I'm a MELFFY, I'm a MELFFY, I'm a fat little MELFFY. Can't beat meta with this, so I play Genesys. I'm a MELFFY, I'm a MELFFY, I'm a fat little MELFFY. Watch me eat on these treats, gonna snack on this peach. I'm a MELFFY. Good afternoon, Genesys gamers. I'm MBT, and this is 100 Point Playtesting. New points list is out, and suspiciously missing from it are the MELFFYs. As a result, let's get up on that stump, baby. Presenting MELFFY. So here's the list. As always, I'll give you a background about the archetype, a little bit of a discussion about what I hope the deck can do, and of course, the card by card. But first, this video is sponsored by Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck. Looking for a place to find inspiration for Genesys decks? Well, look no further. I've already spent years telling you about how Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck is the best repository of deck lists, strategy articles, third-party assistance with alternate ways to play Yu-Gi-Oh!, and card collection management on the internet. But right now, it's also the best way to find Genesys lists. You can sort by deck type, filter high-level tournaments to see what's been working, and download decks you see in any format you desire. That's why I'm proud to be sponsored by www.ygoprodeck.com. Now back to the video. With that, let's mess around with MELFFY. MELFFY is an archetype with an extremely distinct identity. Almost all of their monsters can be summoned during the end phase, and when an opponent summons a monster or targets them for attack, they can tag out for various reasons. These cards are slow, produce gummy board states, and have largely been considered uncompetitive, with a caveat for a tiny caddy package back in Sprite format. Until now. MELFFY Rabbies gives the deck everything a strategy could want in 2026 at turn 0 play, and the TCG exclusive Serenimesia finally gives the deck a normal summon worth normal summoning. With 0 main deck points, you can just jam the list full of non-engine, as well as play their new spell. That's a +3. So with that, let's get into the card by card. We'll begin with Serenimesia, which, if normally special summoned, can banish a beast monster from your hand or face of field until the end phase, to special an earth beast monster from your deck or graveyard with an equal or lower level to that monster's original. Then your opponent can special summon a monster from their hand. This is about as close as you can get to just being a MELFFY card without being a MELFFY card. If your opponent elects to do the special summon, you will just get to proc Wally, but realistically, you'll just get what you're missing. A really strange part of this card is that it also is a lore. It requires your opponent to attack your highest attack monster, meaning you have a little more control over when your MELFFYs move. 3 copies of MELFFY Rabbies. If your opponent normally special summons a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, then fusion summon a MELFFY using monsters from your hand or field. If normally special summoned, you can add a MELFFY monster from your deck to your hand. Then if you added a normal, for which we are playing a single copy, you can special summon any number of beasts from your hand. We're on 3 Wally, 2 Puppy, 2 Caddy, 1 apiece of Rabby, Pony, Hoppier Squadron, Pinny, and Kalantosa, Mystical Beast of the Forest. Playing 3 copies of MELFFY Footsteps, which adds up to 4 MELFFY monsters with different names from your deck to your hand. Then it becomes the end phase. It can be banished from the graveyard, then target 2 MELFFY cards in your graveyard, except MELFFY Footsteps. Add 1 of them to your hand, and if you do, place the other one on the bottom of the deck. This is a hard once per turn, and you are locked into MELFFY special summons, so be careful. We've got a MELFFY Hide and Seek and 1 Pair Bear Scare. We're still playing the minigame. 4 pointed cards are on 3 Veiler, 3 Fuelos, 2 Nibiru, 2 Ghost Bell, 2 Mourner, 2 Ghost Ogre, and 3 DD Crow in the extra. We've got 2 copies of MELFFY God Mommy, who once per turn can exist summoned by using a MELFFY Mommy you control as material, and if special summoned, can add a MELFFY spell trap from your deck or graveyard to your hand. It'll gain attack equal to the combined attack and defense of all MELFFY monsters attached to it, and you can detach 5 from this card to return all cards your opponent controls to their hand. To facilitate that, we are on a MELFFY Mommy. We are also on a MELFFY of the Forest, a Ronin Raccoon Sandayu, Joyous MELFFYs, and Dragon Gate to overlay. We're on Mary, Desert Locust, Silvera, Wolf Tamer of the Forest, Stardust Dragon, and Axel to go to Satellite Warrior, and 2 copies of Joyful Surprise, which, if fusion summoned, can target an equal number of MELFFYs you control and cards your opponent controls, bounces them, and if your opponent normally special summons a monster, or if an opponent's monster targets this card for an attack, you can target a beast in your graveyard and decrease this card's level by 2, special summon that monster. Those are hard onces. In the side, we are on Gnome Material, 3 Cattle Call as a weird sort of called by the grave, 3 Twin Twister, 3 Debunk, and 3 Cosmic Cyclone. So with that, let's check out a match. Our match is up against Fairy Tail, and our hand looks pretty good. We have Serenimesia, we have Rabbies, we've got Kalantosa. Unfortunately, our opponent has a Perulia, which is going to really hamper what we can do here. No big deal. We're going to begin with a copy of Serenimesia. We'll activate the effect in order to go into a Wally. Then afterwards, we're just going to go ahead and pass. Now, this doesn't look like much, and to be clear, it is not much. They're going to go for a Super Polymerization, make a Garura. We will activate Fulos and then Rabbies to go into a Joyful Surprise. After that, we will bounce our opponent's monster as they go to main, and Tails our Joyful Surprise to summon a copy of Teller. We'll draw a card here off our Fulos, and we'll activate the effect of our Joyous MELFFYs and the effect of our Ghost Mourner so that the Teller Fairy Tales can't resolve. We'll go for Wally as they go for Match Giru, which allows us to go into Caddy and Puppy as they go for Fairy Tale Ball. From here, I'm feeling okay about our chances. They're going to go ahead and slam down the Fairy Tale Ball for a Luna. Then afterwards, they're going to try and get this copy of Tails off the field, but they can't because, of course, it is stranded on the Teller. When they normal the Luna, we'll tag out both monsters, getting a Seranemesia and also a Penny to hand to flex for a Synchro Summon. They'll go for the effect of Luna for a Genia of the Ring, and from this position, they can just go ahead and suck my Seranemesia. They'll go for Amelia as we go for our Kalantosa and pop our opponent's monster. They're going for the Necroz line here to get material for a rank 4. We'll go for the Penny here, and then Synchro Summon a Desert Locust to send one card, then use its on-field effect to go for Axel. That eats the effect of Ball, and they will go from Brionac into another Amelia. That is still a free special summon, and afterwards they can overlay for a Wiccat. We'll draw a card as they Wiccat, but there's not too much left to send. They can set this copy of Once Upon and activate the effect of the Fairy Tale Match Giru, but unfortunately for them, they can't try for a lethal push because my Seranemesia forces them to attack the Axel Synchro. No big deal, we can draw for turn and should be able to clean this one up. We'll begin by overlaying for a Melffy of the Forest, to which they will activate Ball. We'll go for Rabbies afterwards and take a normal monster so we can summon it to our side of the field. Next, we'll make Satellite Warrior to try and eat the board. They will activate the effect of Teller, and now that that's out of the way, we can activate the effect of Satellite Warrior into a Once Upon the Fairy Tale to bring back Ass Dragon. They'll go for Match Giru and Luna here. Then afterwards, we can go ahead and overlay for a God Mommy. We will do that and activate the effect. We'll grab a Hide and Seek, and it's at 66. We'll go Hide and Seek, activate the effect of the Hide and Seek in order to draw a card, and from here should just be a hop, skip, and a jump to lethal. We grab a Pear Bear Scare and get in for... Oh my god. There is no way we are 150 off. All right, I will just eat the L on that one. They're going to go to main phase, switch their monsters to attack position, and get in for lethal. Okay, all right. Well, sometimes you just don't have it. So it's time for game 2, and once again, we've drawn Seranemesia. We will go ahead and normal summon that. We'll activate the effect banishing a Rabbies for a Wally, and then afterwards we can overlay for a Melffy of the Forest, we can activate for a Melffy Hide and Seek. From this position, we're just going to go ahead and activate the Hide and Seek, set 1, activate the Melffy Footsteps, and go to the end phase, summoning from our hand a copy of Puppy, a copy of Wally, and a copy of Pony. The other two, of course, remaining in hand in order to facilitate 2 Wally zones. Our opponent's going to tribute the Wally, then go Empire of Endymion for Regulus. They'll summon out this copy of Amelia, who will trigger. That's going to grab them a copy of Necroz of Brionac. They have a lot of material, but it's still going to be hard to push through this board even after Kaiju. Down comes Necroz of Brionac for a second copy of Amelia. Of course, we can go for the Amelia afterwards, to which we'll respond with our Melffy Rabbies and tag out for a Kalantosa as well. That's going to get us a copy of Joyous Surprise and activate the effect of the Kalantosa to clear the entire field, to which our opponent will use the replacement effect of Empire. We'll go Joyous in response to the advance, and Pony as well to bring back out the Wally. That means at point of resolution, we'll be able to activate the Wally for a Caddy and a Rabbies, and then after that, of course, they will overlay for an Exciton Knight. We can Caddy here, they can blow up the board, but surviving to next turn all but guarantees we win, just because we have 9 cards in hand. They'll go for Genia, they don't have another extension material, and they'll scoop it up. So it's time for that all-important game 3, and okay, we're going second, and we only have 1 piece of interaction. Hopefully it's enough. Our opponent's going to Perulia, I guess, to box out the Rabbies, then go for a normal summoned Amelia. Now, this telegraphs a pretty weak hand, because you obviously don't want to be normal summoning your special summon. They'll go for Brionac and another Amelia. That's going to summon to their side of the field. Then afterwards, they will overlay for a Wiccat, which gets Mournered. From here, they can go for Match Giru, because they do still control a monster. They'll go Match Giru for Ball, then activate Ball in order to grab a Luna from deck to hand. From here, they're going to activate the Tails, which of course is in the grip, and then use its effect in order to perform a fusion summon using the Luna for a Weaver for another Match Giru. From here, they're going to overlay for a Wiccat once again and reset a copy of Once Upon a Fairy Tale, but this is very beatable. They'll set one more, scale this Tales of the Fairy Tales, and let's see if we can make this work. They'll begin with Once Upon to bring out Luna, and we will go to the main phase. We'll begin with a Seranemesia. We'll activate the effect for a Melffy Rabbies. Then after that, we can activate the Melffy Rabbies, to which our opponent will chain Fairy Tale Ball. No big deal. That allows us to go into Merry Melffys and start clearing as we go Melffy Footsteps. They will activate the effect of their Luna in order to bounce my monster into a Fairy Tale Wiccat, and then at end phase, we will be able to summon 1, 2, 3, 4 powerful Melffy monsters, Pony, Puppy, Caddy, and Wally. Our opponent will draw for turn, and it's just a pair of Wiccats. They're going to go for Luna, which is doubly protected, but we'll go Caddy and Puppy and Wally and Rabbies in order to cycle a whole bunch of cards back and perform a fusion summon for the Joyful Surprise. At point of resolution, we can activate the Kalantosa, and the effect of the Joyful Surprise is they add a Luna to hand. From here, we can just go ahead and eat our opponent's board. Using the Surprise, we will bounce it as well to dodge the Fairy Tale Ball as they go Match Giru for another copy of fairy tale ball. Despite the fact that it looks like they're in control of this game, as long as we survive, we're in a fantastic position. And of course, we still have the Penny as well. They're going to go for the Genia. We will go for the Penny in order to cycle for a Silvera. And as the Genia comes down, we'll book the board, to which they have no response, meaning we might actually be able to do this one. We'll sync off for an Axel, bring back the MELFFY Rabbies, then use the MELFFY Rabbies and the Excel for a Stardust Dragon into a Satellite Warrior. At point of resolution, we can activate Satellite Warrior into a Magic Deflector, normal summon to Nemesia, special summon to Kalantosa, overlay for a Ronin Raccoon Sandayu, 55-55, and we've got it, folks. 55 and 1,000 into 6150, and we have walked away with a best of 3. So we're back with the deck, and what a set, man. Let's do the pros and cons. First, the pros. 1, these cards are really strong. Oftentimes, your mainline combo is going to be interrupted, so it's insane to just be able to keep Footsteps in your back pocket to immediately win the game. 2, the end boards are layered. Using different effects at different times ensures you're never going to be dead to one piece of interaction. And 3, you're going to get a lot of mileage against players who can't read. They're just going to special summon into your Mystical Beast. And the cons. 1, it's got a real problem about board wipes. In a format where Dark Hole is underpointed and Kaiju Slumber is just straight up free, this is not a good place to be. 2, there's a lot of 1-ups. Sometimes you're going to draw Penny Kalantosa and just hate yourself. And 3, Rabbies really ebbs and flows based on the strength of the other cards in your hand. It's a Halisu, not an Izuna. All in all, this deck's awesome, and I expect it to have a big showing at the WCQ.